Oh, so what's up, guys? Welcome back to a video, and today we're gonna do a reaction to my sister is jealous of me because I'm my parents' favorite. Now, I've watched this before, but I want to do it right now since I have a lot of problems with this video. So let's go full screen. Three, two, one, go.
Hi everyone, my name is Zoe. I'm 15. This is my sister Daphne, who's 3 years younger than me. I love her very much, and I think she loves me too. I mean,
Oh,
we're sisters, but unfortunately, Daphne is very jealous of me. Do you
I wonder why. I wonder
want to know why? Because I'm my parents' favorite.
why.
Our parents love me more, and that's why Daphne is so annoyed with me. But please tell me one thing. How is this my fault?
Because you tolerate the behavior. You could stop tolerating it, and then it could just go away. Guys, this is a fake story. We all know it. Just let's keep watching.
It's not like I'm going around begging my parents to love me more. If my sister had the same qualities as I do, I'm sure they'd love her as much as they love me.
She's not your twin.
If we're going to look for someone to blame, it should be Daphne herself.
Oh, this girl just gets way more stupid. I know that's not a word, but shut up. So you love her, but you're blaming her.
She's been giving me the silent treatment for a long time, as if this were all my fault. But I'm going to tell you all about it now. If you think I'm right, please let me know in the comments because I'm really sad about this whole situation.
Cap.
Until a few years ago, I had no idea that I was in fact my parents' favorite. I never noticed that they treated me differently. One day at dinner, Daphne asked, "Mom, what's the PIN code on your phone?" When Mom said, "Why do you ask, honey?" Daphne told her, "Just say it." So Mom said, 2006. Then Daphne turned to our dad. "Dad, what's the password on your phone?" When Dad said, "Same as your mom's," Daphne said, "So it's 2006. And whose birth year is it?" Mom replied, "It's Zoe's." Daphne turned to me. "That's right, it's your beloved daughter Zoe's."
Beloved. Man, I gotta go with Daphne on this one. She has a fact.
I think my parents figured out where this conversation was going. That's why they didn't say anything. However, when Daphne said, "Dad, could you show us your phone's wallpaper?" Dad replied angrily, "Daphne, could you please eat your food? Where are these ridiculous questions coming from?" All of a sudden, Daphne started crying. "I know that both you and Mom have Zoe's photo as the wallpaper on your phones because you love her more than you love me, and
Huh?
I can't really take it anymore," she
I wouldn't be able to take it either.
screamed. I was listening to this exchange in shock. My mom said, "Daphne, you both are our children. We love both of you equally."
Tell me some more, Cap.
My sister stood up angrily. She said, "That's obviously not true. Zoe is your favorite child, and everyone in this house knows that."
That's fact right there. No, we should take some interest in Zoe. Freak, no, not Zoe. Freaking Daphne. Like this video. One like equals one side on Daphne.
And stormed out of the kitchen. That evening, I thought about what she said. Yes, Daphne was definitely right. My parents were not treating us equally.
Tell a few years later you didn't know that they were treating her right, and then now you want this story's just going everywhere.
But there was a reason, or actually many reasons, why they were acting this way.
Here we go. Now you guys are ready for the boring part. Let's go.
It makes me kind of uncomfortable to say this, but to be honest, if you were to compare Daphne and me, it makes sense that our parents would like me more than her.
Nope.
For example, Daphne's grades are always average. She doesn't do
What's wrong with average grades?
anything to try to improve them. She never does well on exams, but she always has some excuse. Either she had a stomachache, or the questions were too difficult. On the
I'm sorry, but I have to give Zoe that.
other hand, study hard every day. I take school very seriously. I was the third best student in my elementary school and the second best in junior high. When we get
I don't know if they rank you for being the best student. Comment down below if they do that at your school, and then I'll read the comments and then how many either comments that you say do that, then
Together with our relatives, our parents love bragging about my achievements in school. Naturally, they never have anything to say about Daphne,
I wonder why.
so she's always complaining. Our parents are only proud of you. They never talk about me. They're always praising you.
Huh?
Does Daphne have a right to say these things?
Yep.
If she worked hard like I do, our parents would talk about her achievements as well. One day, Mom said to her, "Could you go out to buy eggs and coffee and please take out the trash on your way?"
She's only like, okay, so a few years when she was 12. She's probably like 8 or 7. You want her to go to the store? That's a bad parent.
Form, she refused, saying, "You're always telling me to do something. Why don't you tell Zoe to do it for once?
Yeah, you lazy parent.
Why is it always me?" Mom said, "I'm not asking your sister because she's studying.
She can take 10 to 15 minutes.
You're just sitting in your room playing with your phone." To be fair, Daphne does most of the chores around the house. My mom rarely asks me for anything. On the other hand, I take my schoolwork very seriously.
We went to chores to school. School to chores to school. Like,
As soon as I come home from school, I sit down at my desk, go through everything we
okay, guys, take note there. If you go home and you're a nerd, as soon as you get into the door, you're out of the room.
studied in class, then I do practice questions for tests. I take a short break in between and then eat dinner. Other than that small break, I study all the time. Daphne is the exact
Okay, guys, another thing to take notes for. I know I'm pausing this video a lot, but shut up. Freaking. So don't eat. Even if the only time you get to eat is dinner. No drink. No going to the store.
opposite. I've never seen her do homework. I'm not sure she even studies for her tests. That's why I think it's normal that Mom asks
Why are you butting into your sister's business? You're not her mother.
her to do the chores. I really don't think the way Mom treats Daphne is unfair. I think she deserves it.
Dude, guys, remember in the first part of the video where she says she loves her? Please end my suffering.
There's another important reason why I'm my parents' favorite. Mom thinks I look just like her. She tells me, "We're both very lucky because we both have tiny noses. You also have good style, and you always look good in whatever you wear, just like me." Meanwhile, my dad thinks I'm responsible and disciplined just like him.
Nope.
He tells me, "I'm so glad you take after me. You're going to have a successful career just like me. I don't know where your sister gets her laziness, but it's definitely not from us.
Probably from a relative of y'all's family."
And she's going to have a lot of problems in the future because of it." I think both my mom and my dad are especially nice to me because they think I'm like
Speaking of lifesavers, by the way, a couple of days ago I was trying to show my friends one of my all-time favorite clips on YouTube. You might have seen it. It's this incredible video of the entire
them. Of course, there's nothing Daphne can do about this. It makes me sad to say this, but if she were more like Mom and Dad, maybe they would love her more. Last week, Daphne suddenly came into my room. Since I know she is jealous of me, I could tell right away what she wanted. She came by to check if my parents got me anything new. Normally, if they get me something they didn't get her, I always hide it. But that day, she caught me off guard.
Idiot.
Because I love drinking coffee, my mom got me a really nice thermos. When Daphne saw it, she was like, "What is this? Who got you this? Why? Why didn't you get me one? Why don't I know about it?" Throwing a million questions at me, and then running off to Mom to ask her to explain herself. As I said, she's extremely jealous of me and she doesn't hide it at all. So my mom got me a little gift. Why is she getting
A little gift? She's giving you everything in the universe.
so upset? Am I wrong here?
Yep.
Why can't she just say, "That's a really nice bottle you got. Enjoy it." But she'd never say that. She has to make a scene and then complain about how Mom and Dad don't love me.
Yeah, that's true fact.
If you act like this, of course they won't like you. Another thing Daphne is mad about is the fact that my allowance is bigger than hers. But of course there is a reason for that too. Whenever Daphne gets any money, she runs to the bookstore. Yes, Reading books is great, but I mean, come on, she is the biggest bookworm I've ever seen. She buys a new book and finishes it in 2 days.
I'm 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 very pissed.
Our mom keeps telling her, read slower, don't rush through it. But
2 days of the rush. And my suffering.
my sister never listens to her. She has to finish it right away. Because she does this every time, her allowance is smaller than mine. Unlike her, I never spend my allowance. I save it, and then, with a little help from my mom, buy myself a nice laptop, for example.
So your mom helped you?
So what's left of the money Daphne spends? A big fat nothing. I don't think she has a right to complain about getting a smaller allowance.
Yeah, she does. Because by reading books, you become intelligent. I don't care what anybody says. You become intelligent with books. Even comic books. You can become intelligent from them.
If she wastes it.
She doesn't waste it. I mean, she kind of does, but it's for knowledge.
One day when I was out, Daphne came to talk to my mom. My mom told me what happened later. Daphne said, "Mom, I think I'm adopted. If I wasn't, you wouldn't be treating me like this." My mom got really sad and she took out Daphne's baby pictures and showed them to her. When Daphne said, "You might have adopted me when I was a baby, these photos don't prove anything." My poor mom dug through all her documents looking for Daphne's birth certificate until she finally found it. Daphne took her time scrutinizing it. Then she went to her room without saying a word. As my mom was telling me all this, she started crying. "I tried so hard, but I'm not sure if she's still convinced," she said. I was so mad at Daphne, so I went straight to her room. "You have no right to be upset at Mom like that," I screamed. She looked at me. Just as she was about to say something, she stopped and said, "I get upset every single day. No one cares about it," and burst into tears. I couldn't stay mad at her, especially since she's younger. I gave her a hug. I said, "I hear what you're saying, but there's nothing you can do. That's how you are. I think you should just accept it." For some reason, that made her furious. She looked
Did she just say for some reason? Broccoli and my suffering.
like she was about to kill me. "What do you mean?" "I thought for a second that you really got me. You disappointed me again," she yelled. I don't like fighting at all. I left the room without saying anything.
Yeah, but you love talking all that crap behind some people's back. I'll say that.
Since that day, Daphne hasn't been speaking to me. I'm really upset about being estranged from her for so long, but unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. I made so many attempts to make peace with her, but she always finds an excuse to say no.
You talk crap about behind her back, and then you expect her to love you? Guys, put it in the comments if she's a stupid idiot.
To be honest, I think Daphne can't stop being mad at me because my parents are still acting the same way towards her. As I said in the beginning, I love her a lot. She's my only sister, but unfortunately, we're not as close as we used to be. And this breaks my heart. Thank you for listening to me. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now so you can get notified about new videos. Bye!
Well, that was my parents love me more than my little sister. If you like this video, then like and subscribe, and I'll do more reactions. So I'll see y'all later. Ciao.